Okay, everybody, Mark Kirby again. This is Accounting 6, Spreadsheets for Accounting. We've already gone through the introduction to Excel. Let me just do a little quick introduction for the class and what the expectations are on the homework. So, there's things that you guys know how to do already. Obviously from Business 5 or Cabot 41, things like bolding or making items larger, fonts larger, things like that. What I want to talk about here is, for this class, you're going to be using those things plus some other tools that we're going to learn that are specifically focused towards how to do accounting activities in Excel. We're going to be submitting our homework on Blackboard, and when you do that, I want you to, everybody's familiar with the tab system on Excel, right? The tabs down at the bottom of the page. Here's sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, and so on. Okay. I want you to submit one homework problem per tab. So for example, if I assign, the first week I'm going to assign Chapter 14, Problems 14.4a and 14.3a. So when you do that, I want you to come down to the bottom of the sheet, or come down to the tab, and I want you to rename the tab to at least put 14.4, but I'm going to put Problem 14.4a and hit Enter. Now, if you're not familiar with that, you click on the tab, you right-click it, go up to Rename. Okay, so, and then on this tab you would put all of, that's why the undo key is my favorite thing in Excel. So on this tab you would have all of Problem 14.4a, and then on tab 2 we're going to rename that real quick to PR 14.3a, and that would be where Problem 14.3a would go. So each homework problem has its own tab. One problem per tab. Name the tabs with the problem numbers like I just showed you. That way we're all on the same page. It's easier for me to find them when you submit them and give you a grade on them. Okay? Last thing on this section, when you turn in your homework, all of you are going to have the urge to save your file as Homework Chapter 14 or Chapter 14, something like that. When you all submit them and I go to open them up, I'm not going to know who they belong to. So what I want you to do is, in the file name, get your last name in there. So, my last name is Kirby. I would want my file name to be Kirby Chapter 14 or something along those lines. Okay? And if you want to put your first name in there, go ahead, but at least get that last name in there. Also, on the sheet, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to highlight a couple of rows here, and I'm going to right click and insert. Get your name up here. That way, if you do forget to get your name in the file name, at least there's a backup. You've got your name somewhere. Okay? So you've got your name up here in the top somewhere, hopefully on every tab, if not at least on the first tab, as a backup to in case you forget to put your last name in the file name. Good? Okay. The objective of this class is to use Excel for accounting functions. I want to take that just one extra step further, and I want to make sure that we create automated spreadsheets. And by automated, the objective here is that we create a tool that can be used over and over and over again. And once the tool is created, it takes your knowledge and skill to create that Excel tool. But once it's created, you can give it to someone else and have them fill in information in a data input section have the spreadsheet do all the calculations, and then there be an output or a report section. And you can then hand that spreadsheet off to someone else who would be performing the function every month. Okay? That way it's not you always being the one doing it. So what that means is all of our spreadsheets are going to, the objective is that they all be automated. They all have what I'm going to call a data input section and a calculation section and an output section. I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. And that would look something like this. Let's see. I'm going to put in number of years, months per year, hours per week, hours per month, number of employees. And this can be our input area. Sorry, can't talk and type at the same time. So this would be an example, say, where I wanted to know, we're going to calculate for 2 years for some sort of a seasonal job. We're only going to work for 6 months a year. I'm going to work 40 hours a week, or my employees are going to work 40 hours a week. And this I'm going to change to weeks per month. So if they work all 4 weeks every month, and I have 2 employees, this is a budgeting tool for my business. How many hours per year am I going to have to pay people for? So that's my input area. My report could go down here, and it would be simply number of employees, total hours per year. So the number of employees simply could point to the number of employees, but the hours per year is a little more difficult. I'm going to want to add, or at least start with plus. Let's see, they're going to work 40 hours a week, and I'm going to multiply that times 4 weeks a month times 6 months per year times the number of employees, and this should give me how many hours that they're going to work during an entire year. And then I can use that and multiply it times pay rates or benefits rates for my formatting. Here's the neat thing about this. I'm going to do a little formatting on this real quick. I like commas and things so I can see. The cool part about this is if I'm doing a little forecasting and budgeting, what if I want to go to 4 employees? How many hours does that change to? What if I want to only work 3 weeks a month? What if I only want them to work 20 hours a week? So by changing the input section up here, it just changes your answer down below. This is a huge leap for a lot of people because this answer area down in the report is a formula. A lot of people, especially when they first learn Excel, they use it like a piece of paper and they just write a number into a cell and they do what I call hard coding. Hard coding a number, if you do that and then you want to change the calculation, you've got to go through and find all the hard-coded numbers everywhere in your spreadsheet and then make sure you didn't miss any and make sure you got your answer right. By having an input area and an output area, all you have to do is go change the key elements of the input, and by definition the output changes to what you want. Okay? So that's how I want you to treat the input and output areas of your report, or of your spreadsheets. Lastly, before we move on, always, 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 always make your spreadsheets look professional. The whole point of this class is I'm trying to train you so that you can use Excel in a business environment, trying to help you do well in a job. So you got to treat this class like it's your job and treat me like your boss. And you want to create something that looks professional, that's easy for someone to follow, and has directions so that they know what's going on. You know, I use this analogy. If you got hit by the proverbial bus crossing the street on the way home tonight, would someone be able to pick up your work tomorrow and continue on with it? And if not, then you've not really set this up as a good tool for someone else to use. By instructions, I mean, you know, feel free to come up here and go, type in here, this is the input area for this calculation. Enter or change the numbers here to determine the total hours worked per year. Okay? Then come down here and write something. This is the output. Do not enter data here or change the cells. Okay, you've left somebody some good instructions. They know what's going on, and they're more than likely going to be able to follow this if you weren't around tomorrow. You know, if you had a day off work or you were sick, they'd be able to come in and do this when you were gone. Okay? So that's what my expectations are for your homework, and that's my expectations for how you should automate the spreadsheet. We'll work on it all the way through this entire class. We'll work on it for each chapter of the book that we're going to work in. So I hope you like my my videos, and I hope they help you out a lot. And we'll talk to you next time.